We might just be unlucky enough that we're gonna die right here. I just lost a crew. This is not good. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Byte Club, the show we talk about. I'm Dreambolic, and I'm bringing you a new game. Well, it's not so new, because it was released in 2012, but it's called Faster Than Light, or FTL for short. It's an amazing game where you play as a Federation crew trying to outrun the evil rebels that are trying to destroy you, sort of like a reverse Star Wars thing going on. It's really challenging, really difficult, but it's very fun to play. I don't know if it's going to be fun to watch, though. So my goal with this series is I'm going to do one full run where you watch me get to the end, or at least try to get to the end, and then you're going to help tell me if you want to see more or not, and then you can just say, hey, this was a good series, or hey, this wasn't a good series, and if it wasn't a good series, we don't do any more of it, and if it was a good series, well, I make more videos. So consider this like a pilot series, or a pilot episode, or whatever you want to call it. You're also going to notice something different about my recording style. I had to make my microphone open instead of using a noise gate. That's because if you go watch Enter the Gungeon episode 3, my voice was cutting in and out a ton, and that's because my noise gate just didn't want to work. I fiddled around with it, and I could, even when I like practically yelled into the microphone, it would still cut in and out for no reason. So I decided to just avoid the whole problem by making my mic open, so it's constantly recording my voice. The problem with that, though, is that you're going to be able to hear my keyboard and my mouse as I click keys and stuff. Hopefully it's not too distracting. If it ends up being too obnoxious, just drop a comment as well, and I will continue to try and fix the noise gate so that you don't have to listen to that. But I think this is the temporary solution, and if it ends up not being annoying, it'll just be the permanent solution. But enough of that, let's get into the game. We're just going to play as the Kestrel. There's a couple different ships that you can be. I've unlocked a couple of them. I unlocked the Stealth Cruiser, which is supposed to be really hard. I unlocked the Federation thing, and I unlocked the Engineer, and I unlocked the Kestrel. And then there's different layouts that you can use. So, like, they can have different configurations within that ship. This is considered the tutorial ship, so we're just going to do that, and we're going to do it on normal difficulty. So as you can see, I have control over power systems, and I can power up different weapons and unpower different weapons, and I can, like, reuse those resources, those power bars later on, and, like, taking power away from the shields gets rid of one of these layers of shields. So you kind of manage that as you're going through the game. Now, these systems can get damaged, so if somebody fires directly at it, and deals damage to, like, the weapons, these bars will get damaged, and I won't be able to power up those damaged bars. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing, because this game is, like, obnoxious if you don't pause. You have to do a lot of micromanaging, and doing it without pausing is really difficult. In fact, there's a challenge called a no-pause run, where you can try, where, like, people that are really good at this video game, they'll try and do it without pausing. Really difficult. Now, I'm going into the Nebula because it halves the movement of the Rebel onslaught. And in doing so, it lets me maximize the amount of resources I can get. Speaking of resources, there are a couple different resources in this game. The resources are... Hold on, give me a second to deal with these intruders. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're gonna lead them into the med bay like this. So you can kind of, manipulate the AI by taking air out of areas that they're standing in. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring him over here. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to walk into the med bay like this. See? All right, so now that we've got the intruder problem solved, I was talking about resources. So there's a couple different resources in this game. You have crew. Crew is considered a resource. You have, let's close all the doors. You also have power. Power is a resource, obviously. And you have, let's see here. You have scrap, which is right here. Scrap is basically currency, so you use scrap to purchase upgrades and other items. You have drone parts. If I get a drone control, I'll end up using drone parts to activate those drones. You have missiles. Missile-type weapons such as the Artemis uses missiles as ammunition, and if I am out of missiles, I can no longer fire the Artemis. And finally, there's fuel. Each jump consumes 1 fuel, as it says in the tooltip, so whenever I go to the map, and I'll show you in just a second. Whenever I go to the map and I jump to a different node or travel to a different node, that's considered a jump. So like going from here to here would cost me 1 fuel. And we're going to do that in just a second but I'm going to wait for my engines to get repaired entirely. Outside of that, there's numerous different upgrades you can get for your ship. I'll show you up here in just a second when I get enough scrap to do it. But I can, like, purchase extra weapons powers and things like that. There's somebody in the O2, so we need to go kill them. So the first thing you want to fire on if you're playing this game and they don't have a bunch of shields is you want to fire on the weapons. The reason for firing on the weapons is firing on the weapons basically means that their shield, like, so that they can't shoot at you. So if all their weapons are damaged all the way down to red, they just don't have the ability to actually shoot at you, which means they can't cause damage. So killing off the shield or killing off the weapons as soon as possible is a really valuable thing to do. Typically after that, the next thing you want to go for is you want to go for the shields, because then it makes it easier to deal damage to the rest of their subsystems. Now, since they're trying to run away, we're going to want to use damage on either the piloting or the engine. This might be a deal that's worth taking, because I can sell the reconstructive teleport for, I don't know how much scrap, but it'll probably be more scrap than what I can get. Also, the reason why we want to take that is that they're about to jump away, and I'm not going to deal enough damage to the engines. They'll end up jumping away, so we're just going to take that. Normally, you want to just destroy them because you get more scrap, and scrap is, like, super important. Wow, already come across a frickin' mind control thing. That's crazy. So mind control is exactly what it sounds like. So here's the cool thing with fires. You can put them out by just running away like that. Or by, not running away, but like putting them into the other, like opening up the doors like that. It starves it of oxygen. What is with all of these freaking fires? So we close all the doors. We have our crew go to their med bay so we can heal them up before we jump again. And then we go ahead and send them all back to their own stations. Of course, we need to repair the piloting thing because we can't actually jump. If we don't have any power to our engines, or our engines are completely damaged, or if that's the same thing with our pilot, we can't jump. Also, unless you upgrade it, so like, see how the pilot's not in there? I can't jump unless a pilot's actually manning the pilot station. You can fix that slightly by going here and upgrading the piloting thing, and that'll do it. This is also the upgrade menu, so as you move along, I can upgrade things. Now, here's the Rebel fleet. They're coming after me. Getting into the nebula, I don't know if I said this, I might have started saying it. Going into the nebula is really valuable because it halves the distance that bubble moves forward for every turn that I spend inside of a nebula. That means that I can do more jumps and get more resources before moving on to the next, next sector. This has been a brutal Sector 1. Like, these ships have been ridiculously strong. Like, that's a Burst Laser 3. No, that's a Burst Laser 2. And ships usually don't have that this early on into the game, especially on normal difficulty. Oh, wow, we got a free repair. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we don't want to blow them up. Sweet, we got a whole beam. That's really good. Oh no, I should have waited for my shields. But also, giant alien spiders are no joke. We're not going to go mess with them. So you get random events like that whenever you go to those, like, areas, and giant alien spiders are terrifying. Like, 9 times out of 10, your crew just dies. Like, you send a crew down there, and they're just dead. So, I don't ever fuck around with giant alien spiders, because they have a very bad habit of just wrecking your run by killing your crew. You'll only lose one crew at a time, but still, that's a crew that you can't afford, especially when you only have 3 to begin the game with. In some, you only have 2 crew, and in others, you can start with, like, 4. I don't remember all the starts, but, like, it's bad. It's not a good idea to go deal with giant alien spiders. They'll mess you up. You can also turn on auto fire, so that means it'll just repeatedly shoot at that area. We want to put another one into engines. By powering up engines, we get 5% extra evade, which is a very valuable, it's a very valuable to just evade stuff. I mean, there's not much more I can add except that you just want to not take damage. It's the same idea with shooting weapons first. In fact, we'll shoot shields now that their weapons are down. That's a beam, and a beam can't pierce through shields. So, as long as you have shields, you don't have to worry about a beam weapon dealing damage to you. Actually, I take that back. Certain strong shields, or certain strong beam weapons can hit you through shield, like 1 layer of shields. But if you have 2 layers of shields up, 9 times out of 10, you won't take damage from a beam weapon. So that's an example of a drone. Oh no. That's bad. Alright, I didn't want to have to use a missile there, but they dealt damage to my shields, and so I had to do it in order to not take damage. Should probably turn off the auto fire on that. I want to save those missiles for when I desperately need them. Alright, we're gonna go check out this store. We don't want a reconstructive teleport, because we don't plan on teleporting at all. We're gonna just sell the Artemis because it's bad. And we're gonna buy the whole repair drone and pray that we get another drone control. Because the whole repair drone's really good because it turns drone parts into free repairs. So when you have a bunch of drone parts, it's like, sweet. Now I don't have to worry about paying for repairs anymore, which is super valuable. Since we have an extra weapon and we sold the Artemis, we're just going to upgrade that, and now we can turn on the whole beam. I think we can get away with at least 2 more jumps. I don't know for sure. Hacked our O2. I mean, that's not that bad. Unless it's really high level hacking, which in that case sucks. He got the shields back up in time. Oh, that's a fire that I need to get rid of. Let's shoot the shields. Okay, now you're gonna deal damage to the O2, you little bastard. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go repair that oxygen before our crew dies. Or suffocates. That would not be very pleasant to suffocate. Alright, we're gonna wait for our oxygen to go up just a little bit. Now, I think we can get away with jumping and getting an extra node in, which is really valuable because, again, you want as much scrap as possible. Alright, I think we have enough oxygen for now. Yep, we just made it. We're gonna go to the Zoltan-controlled area. Zoltans are bros. Hit the nebula first, of course. We got a healing burst. That's another weapon that we can sell, which is pretty good. Now we're not gonna take the long way around because we need to maybe find a store and buy some more fuel. Because running out of fuel sucks. You have to turn on a distress beacon and sit there. Yes, we're gonna trade with them. Since we have that repair drone, we want to get as many drone parts as possible. Except when you have a amazing deal like that. We're gonna take the long route and then hit that store again. And the reason we're going to do that is we're going to see if we can't get a drone control to help us out a little bit. Let's hit their shields first, because with this whole beam, we can laser them. A beam weapon's pretty good. And we're going to try and sell this healing bomb, though, because it's not good. Get lasered. Sucks to suck. I really want to know what's in that store, but I don't want to waste the fuel doing it. Whatever, we'll just do it. It was my fault for going that route, but we'll just do it. There's the drone control we need. And it comes with a free defense drone. That's pretty good. Alright, so we need to sell them the healing bomb. And we're still 5 short. This is a bad idea. This is a real bad idea. How much can I sell the defense drone for? 25. That'll give me 55, which would let me buy a laser charger. I really want that flak cannon as well. That was a bad... I feel like that was a bad choice. We're gonna see if it was a bad choice or not in just a little bit. It's not a bad choice as long as we keep running into ships that only have 1 shield. As soon as we start hitting ships that have more than 1 shield, it's gonna get real bad, real quick. Because we won't be able to deal damage to them. You can see it gets kind of tedious when you only have one way to deal damage. So we need to pick up a weapon as soon as possible. I really want that flak cannon because a flak cannon would be pretty awesome. $20 scrap. I could go back, I could jump back, or I could go to this store. Alright, let's see if there's any good weapon at this store. There's not. There's a combat drone, and combat drones aren't very good. However, I think we have to bite the bullet. I think we're gonna have to bite the bullet here. Even though that's technically a waste of scrap. Because we're gonna sell that combat drone. But I think we need to bite the bullet here and just get that combat drone in case we run into a thing with 2 shields. Like this. Right here is where we want to use the combat drone. This would have been awful without a combat drone. Like, really awful without a combat drone. Come on, I want to go do more FTL things, not be stuck here watching you guys repair. Oh, El Nub Nub is hurt. Let's hook him up with some healing. Alright, let's jump to the exit. Oh wow, we just barely made it without having to deal with the Federation. Yes. That's a savings of scrap right there. We're not going to go to the Uncharted Nebula. There's an alien race there, and going to the Uncharted Nebula is asking for death. Actually, no, it's not the Uncharted Nebula that's bad. It's the abandoned sector. It's the abandoned sector that you want to stay the hell away from. There's an alien species in the abandoned sector, and they just ruin your day. Alright, so we have to balance it between... Don't hit my weapons. Don't do that. You're gonna make it hard to kill you. If you hit my weapons again, I'm gonna be a little salty. Alright, you didn't hit my weapons again. Alright, let's hit their stealth next so that they don't get the stealth as much. We need to take one out of here and put it into oxygen so that we don't run completely out of oxygen. Mother trucker, you're just making this take forever. Right, now that we have enough O2, we can put it back into the engines so that we have a little bit of evade. Let's get out of here. Maximum warp. You know, I need a pause, and I need to put power into everything that I want power in. I don't understand how stealth makes you dodge rocks. Like, last time I checked, rocks don't aim. They just kind of fly around and hit you. What the hell? What the heck is that kind of bullshit? We might just be unlucky enough that we're gonna die right here. I just lost a crew. This is not good. I might just die right here. Of course. Alright, well, at least all their weapons are down, but this is bad. This is really bad. We need to actually go fix the oxygen room. Okay, now that the oxygen room is fixed, go fix there and go fix drone control. Did I lose the pilot? No, I lost the engines lady. Okay. I really need to get level 2 shields. That would help out a ton in not dying, in the whole not dying thing. Alright, let's get them healed up. Unfortunately, again, we lost that crew member. We lost the engines person, yeah, which is, like, arguably the least awful person to lose. I mean, ideally, I wouldn't have lost anybody there, but I sucked. We're gonna go to the store. And at here, we're going to sell the breach thing. We're going to buy the burst laser. We're going to... do that. We're gonna repair our hole. So each drone part is going to net us 3 health back. 2 to 3 health. It's kind of RNG based. See, sometimes it's 4. And I think we're actually going to take a break there after that very close call. We're going to continue this run. I'm going to try and do a full run, but if you did like what you see, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps us out a ton. Other than that, I hope you have a great evening. Take it easy, everybody. Bye. There we go. See, I'm getting a little bit better. I'm not saying I'm good, but I am getting a little bit better.